Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Elohim Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, which are a great millstone. Peace and blessing to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity, and diligently putting the videos up throughout the week to feed the sheep. Shalom, Mak. It's your brother Maquad from Trump in the VA camp, and I'm going to get into it. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, Barakatah to Mayim. So, I'm going to basically get into this video on denying yourself, because people don't understand that when you come into this truth, it's all about, one of the big part of this is denying yourself, because it's not easy putting up videos. It's not easy having to tell your family or so-called loved ones no, or you can't do this, or denying them, or it's not easy giving up some of the things, even some of the things, your aspiration, dream, things you love, giving up that for the truth. But these are the things that must be done if you want to follow Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai and basically in a proper way. Okay, because everything you can hold on to in this world is attachments that can basically help you on out the door. And the more attachments you got to this place is the more ways Satan has to sift you out. Okay, if you got a woman, Satan can work through you through women. If you close with your family and they're not in the truth, Satan can work with you, can work against you through your women. I mean through your family, through your job, your health, anything you can think of, Satan can use to come up against you. That's why it's better to detach from this place. And even if it's not physically, definitely spiritually, because you can have brothers that's living with their parents, but even though they physically with them, spiritually they're not there. They'd see with jobs too, like some jobs you got to work for Esau pisses you off, say stupid shit to you. It's like you in a job and Edom might say something smart to you. You want to pop off and say, man, fuck you, Esau, this, that, and the third, or you ain't nothing but a slave, you not shit, you ain't got melanin. Sometimes brothers want to say shit like that, but then you got to understand that this is just a game, and this is not Esau, this is Satan using his devices. And some of that is, like I said, when we're in the world, Satan is using those devices. That's when he come at us the most. And that's why it's best to cut off as much things as we can in the world and deny ourselves, so we don't give Satan more opportunities and more ways to come at us. Okay? If it's one door to a house, if it's only one way to break into a house, that front door, no back door, you can focus everything on that front door, and you only got to worry about people coming through the front door. Now, if you got a back door, side door, a roof, a chimney, right? It's multiple ways you can get into the house. Now, that makes it easier to get in. Okay, it's harder to defend something when it's multiple ways to get in. But if it's just one way in, one way out, you can narrow it down. Now it's easier to focus and remain focused on just one thing. Like, all right, the only way you can come in is through this way. That's why Yahweh Shai is telling us to deny ourselves, to don't put nothing before him. Okay, you got to be willing to tell your mom no, your dad no, your brothers no, sisters, women, children. You got to be willing to tell them no if it comes before the truth. And like the brother said, his job. And that can also fall into denying yourself, because we also got to deny ourselves. Because it's only how you feel would be a reason why you would probably buck up against a heathen or somebody talking to you crazy on a job. Basically, your feelings will make you feel that way. Even though they shouldn't talk to us crazy, we got to understand that right now is our humility state. Right now, we're supposed to set up to be humble. Because when Yahweh Shai was about to be crucified, he said to them, think not that I couldn't pray to my Father to send me 12 legions of angels, and he could just get rid of this whole thing. But he said, I laid down my life. I got to let this happen for prophecy's sake. And just like us, we could probably take things into our own hands, but at the same time, our trial right now is like Yahweh Shai's trial. We got to be humiliated, because when you go into humble, is another a spin-off word of that is humiliated. And Yahushua was humiliated. Okay, spit on, beard cut off, beaten. They made jokes about him, tore his clothes off. He was humiliated. Like me personally, I'll be super ashamed one day if Esau decided, you know what, we're going to take him to jail on false charges, and they said let's shave off his beard, and then later on they said we're going to release you. We got the wrong guy, and I ain't have a beard on my face anymore. I'd be embarrassed. That'd be a shame. Okay, just that alone, getting your beard shaved off is a shame. Yeah, 2/3 is an easy vessel for Satan. That's why, matter of fact, I'm gonna get, what was it? 2 Corinthians. First Corinthians 15:33. It says, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners." And when you go into the word communications, it goes into companionship. So when you're around people that are 2/3 in the world, it can basically corrupt your emotions. It can corrupt your feelings, and on top of that, it's easy for Satan to get on, and because they don't have any like how they say in the world, if you ain't down for something, you'll fall for anything. And these people in the world, they're not down for Yahweh Shem Shah, so they'll fall for anything. Okay, especially Satan. And it says, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners." And also, when you are constantly around wickedness, that just makes it normal. It's like this world in America, right? All this wickedness, this set, it basically it normalizes it. Like in Philly, people dying every day. So, like me personally, dying, drugs, crime, I'm used to that just because I've been around it for so long. From growing up from a child to right now being 30, just growing up, seeing all that, being in the middle of it, I'm used to murder, crime, this, that, and the third. Whereas you can have a person who comes from a neighborhood like the one I'm in right now. Like when I'm out there preaching about how Philly is, like I'm talking about murder, people dying, drugs. People up here can't relate to that because they don't see that up here. If they were to go down there, it'd be a complete culture shock because they're not used to it. But the point is that since this place is so wicked, it just gets you used to being around wickedness. Man, pedophiles and homosexuals, they're not that bad. Okay, there's always a homosexual. Just let them be them. Let them be them. They can believe what they want to believe. Just leave it over there. That's what America teaches you, to be used to things. Get used to it. Accept everything. But the scriptures are against that. But I'm going to go over here. This is Luke 9:23. It says, "And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me." So, and that's a part of this. Like I was just saying, you got to deny yourself, because it'll be things that you want to do, but you got to deny yourself. Now, think about it, right? Imagine you're in the truth and you're on a job. A female walked past and you're looking at her, and the next thing you know, a man walks up behind her and then he's just like all hugging on her. Now you're gonna put two and two together. Okay, them guys are together. They're married. Now what your spirit should tell you to do is, okay, we're going to avert our eyes from over there because she's married. That'd be committing adultery. Now, even though your flesh probably be like, damn, she looks good, I want to keep looking at her. How should I just say? You gotta deny yourself. Okay, you gotta deny yourself. Even though you might want to look, boom, she's married, committing adultery, breaking the law. You gotta look away. And that's another form of denying yourself. Even though it might be something that you want to do, because we know the spirit and the flesh fights against each other. Okay? And that's the only thing that really separates us from the people in the world. Just our spirit. Okay? Which the spirit fights against the flesh. Because the people of the world of the flesh, and when you come into the truth, you're supposed to be of the spirit. And that's supposed to separate us. Okay, so we supposed to govern our movements on the spirit, because these people in the world, they govern their movements over their flesh, and we're not supposed to do that. It says, verse 24, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my name's sake shall find it. So there it is right there, because he goes into detail. What does he mean by denying yourself? What he means is trying to save your life. Like you want to, like, you know what? I'm in the truth right now, but I'm going to try to also try to keep one foot in the world and keep one foot in the truth. Right? I'm going to still try to go to strip clubs. I'm going to still try to hang out with niggas. First off, hanging out with niggas. I was on a job probably like last month. A new guy got hired, and we was working together in the same aisle. I was training him, and a chick walked past, and he told me, he was like, bro, look at the girl over there. You see her? You see how fast she was? And I was like, and I looked. I was like, bro, she walking with her man. And he was like, bro, I don't care about none of that. So, but that just goes to show you how two-thirds think. They don't care. As long whatever they see, they want. Okay? And why would you want to be around something like that? A person who don't care about the law. That shit annoys you. I get annoyed when I'm out there preaching and I tell people they're not supposed to do something, and they say, and they start making up all these excuses. Well, I feel like God and Jesus died for everybody, and the law don't matter. That shit pisses you off. You just want to tell the person, just go up the street. Just go up the street. So when we're preaching, we don't even want to be around this shit. So why on your free time would you want to be around this? If you can avoid it. Like I said, if you live with your people, it is what it is. But I'm talking about situations where you like go out of your way. I'm gonna call up Black today, see if he want to go down to the bar with me. For what? You know he a nigga. He gonna get to the bar. He gonna start rolling up blunts, right? He gonna start hitting on women even though they married. Why would you want to be around that? I don't know. It says, but whosoever will lose his life for my name's sake, the same shall find it. And you got the men of the Lord, the true men of the Lord. They're going to deny themselves. They're going to being reborn. They're going to you got to, kind of like the brother said, you got to be reborn. When you truly come into the world, you're reborn. I mean, you truly come out of the world, you're reborn. Okay, the things that you used to want to do, you don't want to do them no more. Everything is just completely different. Like me, for an example, every single day I get up and then I pray, and then automatically I'm thinking about, I go check my phone. I look on recent videos and stories on like news articles and things like that. Immediately, I just start, after I pray. Immediately, I start thinking about videos to do. Immediately, right? Immediately, that's what I'm thinking about. Before I go to sleep, thinking about some videos to do. I'm always throughout the day thinking about videos to do. Okay, now, but when I get some free time, I'll probably at the house lift some weights, maybe play some games here or there. But the majority of my free time, I'm literally thinking about videos to do. Even when I'm on a job and I'm working, I'm thinking about videos to do. Okay, our whole your whole mindset should be based all the way around the truth. Like, damn, I can't wait for this place to be over. I want to feed the sheep, make videos, study, get with brothers. Like this should constantly be on your mind, or at least you would think. It says, for what is a man advantaged if he gain the whole world and lose himself, or be cast away? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he shall come in his own glory, and his fathers and the holy angel. So Yahweh Shai is saying, if you deny me now, if you're embarrassed of me now, well, when I come back to scoop y'all up in my glory, right? When I got all the boys with me, I'm going to deny y'all. Because when y'all supposed to be pushing me, when y'all supposed to be doing my will. Y'all was doing y'all own thing. Y'all was living y'all best life. Okay, y'all was ashamed of me. Y'all didn't want to push me. Y'all wanted to hide me. Y'all wanted to hide your talents. Put the light under the bush. Put the light under the bed. He said, okay, when it comes time for me to come back, now I'm going to do the same thing to y'all. Let's go over here. Romans chapter 8 and verse 7. It says, because the carnal mind, matter of fact, yeah, I started 7. Romans 8 and 7. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, neither indeed can be. So to be carnally minded is going against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because the carnal mind would say, like, all right, Jacob Trouble coming. I gotta get my house ready to get tricked out. So in case robbers or something break in, I can be prepared. I gotta get my guns. I gotta lift weights so I can get bigger because I gotta defend my house. I gotta get guns and all these clips because again I gotta defend my house. I gotta stockpile all these foods, canned goods, so I can be prepared. And then another thing I gotta do, I gotta build my bunker, right? Because if they drop the bomb, I gotta be ready for the bunker. Or they come through with an RPG to blow my house up, I got a bunker to fall back in. So when you do things like this, when you take things into your own hands, you set yourself up for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to come up against you. You set yourself up. You start playing Satan's game. Once you cross that spiritual line, now Satan got you right where he wants you. Okay. When we stay spiritual, we got the protection of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But once you cross over to being carnal, it's all you on Satan's terms now. Whatever he want to do to you, he's going to do it to you. It says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So they that are in the flesh can't please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You can't please him in the flesh. Okay? So this is why it's better to be in the spirit than in the flesh, because you can't please him in the flesh. The ones that escape the hunger, the sword is going to destroy. So you think you're going to stockpile up all your food, you're going to think you're good, but then what's going to happen? Somebody can still break in, and the sword is going to get you. Okay? The sword is going to get you now. There is no way to escape. There is no way to escape the destruction unless you're covered by the blood of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And like I just said, when you're being carnal and you trying to prep, you set yourself against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Watch this. Psalms 127 and 1. It says, except Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahweh keep the city, the watchman walketh but in vain. So in other words, unless Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is behind it, you're doing it in vain. They're going to be dismantled. Right? Like it's going into whatever, anything you're doing, if you're not doing it spiritually, you're doing it in vain. You can't physically prepare for this truth. I mean, for Jacob Shovel, you can't physically prepare for it. Okay? Your best bet is, that's all we got is to be spiritual and deny ourselves. Okay? Because how we feel and how Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai feels is two different things. Because the world teaches us to be carnal and lean on our own feelings, which sometimes I do, which I got to work on, which I'm pretty sure our brothers got that problem too, because we've been indoctrinated for so damn long in this fucking place. This is Jeremiah 17 and 9. It says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, who can know it? So the heart, which is your mind, is deceitful above all things. The worst thing under the whole heaven is your mind. It's deceitful above all things. You can't trust it, because I do it all day. Because there'll be people who claim to be Christians and things like that, and I'll put it to the test. Like, okay, you're a Christian, right? You think a sodomite should die? No. They say no. I was like, what do you mean no? Doesn't the Bible say they should die? Well, I mean, that was the times of old. But that, now we know it's different now. We got repentance. But they don't mean it that way. They mean it in a sense where since there's faggots now, we got to accept them. And as long as they're not hurting anybody, they can do whatever they want. But, which is Matthew, I believe, 5 say, that, matter of fact, I'm just going to get it. Matthew chapter 5 and 19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And the people who are going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven are going to be the people who are going to be destroyed. The people who are called least in the kingdom of heaven are going to be the ones to be destroyed, because this is obviously talking about the 2/3, because they're going to be called the least in the kingdom. They're going to be destroyed. They're not going to make it on this end. They're not going to make it on this end. Because they say, oh, well, the faggots aren't really hurting anybody. Well, they are. They're teaching people to be faggots. They're making it acceptable. Because we don't only teach by words. We can teach by sight, too. People will see and be like, oh, I want to do that. Like me, when I was doing boxing and MMA, it was some moves where I wasn't physically taught it, but if I can watch a video over and over, I learn how to do the move. So you ain't got to just tell somebody how to learn it or to teach them. Just you can teach them just by seeing it. Con. Back over here, I think I just grabbed this one. 1 Corinthians 15:17, and Hamashiach, it says, and if Hamashiach be not raised, your faith is vain, are yet in your sins. Then also which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished. If in this life only we have hope in Hamashiach, we are of all men most miserable. But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so Hamashiach shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order, Hamashiach the first fruits afterwards, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. So the ones that follow Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, these are going to be the same people that seem like messed up and down right now. But when he comes back, when the day of the Lord pops off, which is going to be Jacob Shubble, that's when everybody who was down and out is going to be the ones being picked up and exalted. Those are going to be the people who know what they're doing. The people who are going to be sought after, because everybody else is going to be running like a chicken with their head cut off. They're not going to know what to do. They're not prepared for this. Watch this. This is James chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him. So Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, he chose the poor of this world. Okay, the poor of this world is the ones he's going to be choosing, and that's going to be the ones that's down and out right now. Okay, this is going to be the ones that people, because you don't. How often do you see a rich person get humiliated? You barely see it. A rich person can do anything, and it's going to get praised. I remember back in like 2000. Probably about 2004, 5-ish, a picture came out with Lil Wayne kissing Baby, and nobody even cared about that. Nobody even cares about it to this day. You got pictures with rappers wearing dresses and skirts. It's like these people with money can do no wrong. Okay, they can do no wrong, and this is partly why Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah chose the poor in the world, because these are going to be people that are humble, that are meek, that are going to be loyal. Because when you get money, when you get settled into everything, and you got everything you need and you're content, that's when you start to forget about Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Matter of fact, what's that? Ecclesiastes 11:25. It says, "In the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction. In the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity." So this is talking about just basic people, okay? Basic people, when they're going through something bad, they forget about the good times. And basic people, when they're going through good things, they forget about the bad times. But when you come into the truth, you got to understand that this whole thing is this whole truth is a balance. It's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be all up times. It's not going to be all down times. It's Yahweh Shem Yahshua dealing with you. It's not going to be all up and it's not going to be all bad. It's going to be like a roller coaster. Okay, so it's going to be like a roller coaster. And you're not supposed to, and in the times of good, you're not supposed to be like that. When you get in good times, don't forget about the bad. When you're going through the bad times, you don't forget about the good. Because when you're in the bad times, you remember the good. Like, all right, I've been through the bad times before, and I know at the end of the tunnel is going to be hope. Or I've been through the good times before, and I'm not going to let this get me so high to the point where I forget that bad times is right around the corner. So when you're going through good, you got to remember bad is coming. And when you're going through bad, you got to understand good is coming. And that's the whole thing about this truth. Right now, we're going through, as a whole, bad time. But we're trying to endure to get to those good times. When you because in our lives, I'm pretty sure we got, like, in our personal lives, like, various high and low moments. But as a whole, as a nation, even if, like, if you let's say you at your job, you get a promotion, like, that's like your own personal little, like, good time, so to speak. But you can still we're still in captivity. We still subject to these to breaking the law. We're still subject to the curses. So you can have, like, a little good win, so to speak, but we're still in this war right now. This is Matthew's 10. Maybe it's 13. Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And that last end is going to be Jacob's trouble. Okay? But it says, whatever you go through, you gotta whatever you go through, you gotta, don't be hasteful to leave the Lord. Like, you got people in the world, you got times where you'll be in the truth, you'll go through a situation, and you'll be face down with a situation, and on the one hand, you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna try to take this in my own hands, instead of point B, where you can just have faith in Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah. A lot of people choose to take it into their own hands instead of having faith in Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah. And that was one of the last things I learned in this truth, is putting more trust in Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, in a sense where letting things go and then just letting him work it out. Everybody has their own things they got to work on, and some things come easier to others. But for me personally, coming from a real carnal background and putting a lot of things in my own hand, that was like one of the things that was hard for me, was to just sit back and not do nothing. This is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah must believe that he is. So it's impossible to please Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah without faith. If you come to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, you got to believe that he is, which means he exists. Okay? When you go all the way back to Genesis, what did he say? I am. So you got to believe, which I am, obviously talking in a self sense, but we're talking about him as he is. So you got to believe that he is. He exists. He's going to work things out for you. Okay? Which, I'm going to go back over here. Ecclesiasticus. And that also goes into what? Denying yourself. Because you might feel a certain way, like, man, I don't got to wait on Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah. I can get this done by myself. What does that go back to? Denying yourself. This is Ecclesiasticus 2 in verse 7. It says, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. So, if you fear the Lord, what are you going to do? You're going to wait for his mercy. You're going to let him deliver you. And you go aside of that, what's going to happen? You're going to fall. And that's what I was just saying in the beginning of the video. Once you cross into that physical plane, once you leave spiritual and stop having faith, now you're crossing into the physical plane. Now you're playing Satan's game. This is exactly what he wanted. Because Satan's whole game is to get up off the spirit and come into his world. Okay, that's Satan's whole game. Get us out of the spirit and come into his world. This is why he like things. This is why he like to take things out the scripts. Because once we in the scripts, Satan can't do nothing with you. When you in the scripts, Satan can't do nothing with you. The scriptures is built to combat against Satan. So once you stay in the scripts, you're good. But once you go out the scripts, you start freestyling. That's where Satan comes, and he can do whatever he wants to you. Let me see. Psalms 47:19. He showeth his words unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments, it's like his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise you the Lord. And Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah, he gave his laws, statutes, and commandments unto Jacob. And when you look deeper into that, he gave his laws, statutes, and his commandments unto the elect. Because right now, we know, watch this. Zechariah. Zechariah 14:12. And it shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. And this is obviously not Jerusalem as a whole, Israel as a whole. This is talking about the ones that are waking up. Because they tell you in Romans, the 9th chapter, that all Israel It's not of Israel. Okay? So, even though you're of Israel, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be destroyed. Because what's happening here? You got Israelites today that are coming up against us, and they're going to be destroyed. And just like right here, he showed his words unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. It's funny because, and it's truth. Me personally, I can look and I can think. Matter of fact, I think it was King David. It was King David, or I think it was Ezekiel. I think it was King David. He was looking back, and he was seeing all the prosperity of the wicked, and he was just thinking like, damn, like how are all these people prosper and they're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments? And the same thing is happening today. You can, from the outside looking in, you can just look around and be like, because we had some people, I had people tell me one day, like, bro, how can you call yourself a man of the Lord? You ain't got no jewelry on. You don't have no expensive shoes, this, that, and the third. You expect me to believe you're a man of the Lord? My pastor got this, that, and the third. Right? So, it can, on the outside looking in, it's almost like, damn, we're doing all this for Yahweh Shem Yahushua in vain, because we don't have nothing in this world. But then what happens? You go all the way back to James 2 and 5, and what does it say? The one we just brought out. Yahweh Shem Yahushua chose the poor of the world. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he said he wants us to sow up treasures in heaven, not treasures on earth. That's not what he called us to do. He called us to sow up treasures in heaven, not on earth. So this is what he wants. Matter of fact, he told the rich guy, sell everything that he has and follow him. If it was about money here on earth, he would have said, man, keep going, open up more businesses, right? I want you to prosper in this world. If that's what this was about, which that's not as about. But you got a lot of people who thinks this place is about money and comfort. When that's not what this is about. Right now, this is a punishment. This is a punishment. We're supposed to be, we're being punished right now. How you gonna have fun in punishment? Khan, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Galatians 2 and 20. It says, I am crucified with Hamashiach. Nevertheless, I live. So just that line right there. It says, I'm crucified with Hamashiach. And us as men of the Lord, we're like, damn, we're crucified. We don't have a lot of money. Some of us don't got women. Some of us do got women, and they're out of order. Or some of us, we're going through physical ailments. Some of us don't got cars. Whatever situation we're in, we're catching hell and adversity. And it's like, damn, we catching all this, but at the same time, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he didn't forsake us. We're not living on the streets. He's not leaving us without. So even though all the hell we catching, he don't have us out here on the street, cold, without a bed to sleep in, this, that, and the third. It says, I am crucified with Hamashiach. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Hamashiach liveth in me. In the life which I now live, in the flesh I live by the faith of the Son of Yahweh, who loved me and gave himself for me. And right, even though the life we live in right now, we're technically living it, but we live in it for what? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay, that's what we live in this for. Okay, we wake up, well, we should be living our lives for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We should wake up and we should think on various ways we can serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and better the body and feed the sheep. That's what our mind state should be in, as Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua be in our head. Just like the women that's married they should wake up and they should think, damn, how can I please my husband? Which is their head. That's just the natural order of things and how it should be. It says, I do not frustrate the grace of Yahweh, for if righteousness come by the law, then Hamashiach is dead in vain. So, righteousness is not going to come by the law, okay? Righteousness, because like I just said, if it was about the law, what would happen? Hamashiach, Yahushua, he died in vain. So it's not about the law. That's why Yahweh Shah, he pushed being brotherly and he pushed being brotherly, which when you go into brotherly and charity, matter of fact, I'm just gonna get it. I think it's 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 13:1, though I speak with tongues and of men, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. So it says you can have the gifts of tongues, but if you don't have charity, it's for nothing. It says, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I stand and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. So it says you can be a prophet. It says you can know all the breakdowns and you can have faith that move mountains. But if you don't have charity, you're nothing. It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. So it says you can give up everything you own and feed the poor. It says you can even die for Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But if you don't have charity, it's all for nothing. It says charity suffereth long. So that's one aspect of charity. It says suffering long. So when you go into suffering long, it goes into what? Yahweh Shai told Peter that because Peter asked Yahweh Shai, how often should I forgive my brother? He said 70 times 7. So that's long suffering. You gotta constantly forgive your brother for making mistakes, whether it be on accident or on purpose. Well, I would hope brothers are not doing things on purpose, but if a brother's doing something on accident, and you gotta constantly forgive him, that's suffering long. It says, and it's kind. Charity envieth not. So you're not gonna be looking at a brother like, damn man, this guy, he doing a lot of videos. I want to be like that. Or he doing a lot of videos. Why he trying to do that? He's trying to make me look bad. Or I see he got a camp. I want that camp. Or whatever. If you envying like, damn, I want what that brother got, and then you're angry at that brother for what he's doing, and you can't do it, or for what he has and you don't have it, that's not charity. That's Yahweh Shem Yahshua. He ain't dealing with that shit. It says, charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. So you're not going to be bragging about the things that you're doing. You're not going to be bragging about the things that you got. You're not going to be puffed up, right? Because you got a lot of people who do brag like, man, I've been in the game for years. You can't tell me nothing. Or you got guys that say, man, my camp got 30 members. My camp got 1,000 members. You're over here by yourself. You can't tell me nothing. It says, and we already know puffed up. It says, does not behave itself unseemly. Let's go into that real quick. First Corinthians 13. Go into unseemly. It means to act unbecomingly, indecent, deformed. Let's look up the word. Unbecomingly, not appropriate, not attractive or flattering, unbecoming, not in accord with the standards implied by one's character or position. So basically it goes into like being rude. It says, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked. And obviously you should already know that you shouldn't be seeking your own. You should already know you're not doing things for you. Or, matter of fact, what's the scripture on that? In fact, I think it's 15. Yeah, here it is. 2 Corinthians 15:9. It says, this is Paul. It says, "For I am the least of the apostles, that am not meet to be called an apostle." So he's saying is not you go to that word meet, it means sufficient or enough. Because he's saying this because he crucified the church and he didn't feel worthy in that position. So 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 9, it says, "For I am the least of the apostles, that I am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of Yahweh Shem Shai. But by the grace of Yahweh Shem Shai, I am what I am. And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of Yahweh Shem Shai, which was in me." So Paul was saying he didn't feel as he wasn't happy to be in a position that he was in, simply based on the fact that he was doing a lot of terrible things to the church. He felt ashamed. Okay, and then it says, and he says all the work that he's doing, even though he was doing a lot, he was going hardcore for the truth, even though after he came into the truth, he said, "I'm doing this, but this is not even of myself. It's only through the grace and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua." Because he understood that out of all the things he did, he could have been destroyed. He felt like all the labor that he was doing it because he owed Yahweh Shem Yahshua that. Like, that was the least he could have did. This is why you go right here, Romans 12:1. "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh Shem Yahshua, which is your reasonable service." So this is why he said that. This is our reasonable service to do this work. It's our reasonable service. And we should all feel like Paul. Because all the bad things we've done in the world and the things we've done in the truth, we should feel like Paul. We should want to abundantly do this work. We should want to abundantly do this work and feel what's the word? Feel basically like blessed, so to speak, or extremely happy to even get a chance to get this grace and mercy. But back over here, 1 Corinthians 13. That's why sometimes I'll be trying to figure out why brothers can't at least do 3 videos a week. Because I'm thinking like, damn, don't you feel bad for what you did? Don't you want to make amends? Right? Like the bare minimum is going out to camp Saturday. And the bare minimum is doing 3 videos a week. If you truly feel bad, how come you can't meet this? Right? How come you can't? Like me, I can do I get 2 days, I work 40 hours with Esau, and I get 2 days off. On my days off, I can easily get up 3 videos in one day. I can easily do that. Let's say you get off 1 day a week, right? Either way, you can still do 3 videos in one day. That's not even hard. If you truly feel bad, if you truly feel like you want to make amends, you should be able to easily knock out 3 videos a week. If you truly feel bad, if you really wanted to do it. Okay, the funny part about it is you got brothers that was acting like Jaheim when they was in the world, right? They wanted to put that woman first, but when they come into the truth, now brothers want to settle. Like, okay, like every brother that was in the world, I'm gonna say most of them, whatever they wanted to do, they wanted to be the best at it. But they come into the truth now. It's like, oh well, my lot isn't to do this. My lot is to be over here. My lot isn't to do this. So magically, when you come into the truth, right, now you want to play the low guy. Now you don't want to put in a lot of work. But when you was in the world, you was going above and beyond the call of duty to be the best at what you had. You think Yahweh Shemiel Shah don't see that, bro? You really think he don't see that? Bro, you got the game fucked up out here. What's that? Galatians 6 and 9. In fact, yeah, Galatians chapter 6 and 4, it says, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. So we supposed to do our own work so that we can rejoice in our work. Okay? And we got to bear our own burden. You can't be in a camp and be like, all right, well, I know the head of the camp, he gonna knock out like 10 videos this week, and the other brother in the camp, he gonna knock out like 7 videos this week. So when you average it out, they all doing enough work for all of us to get past. No, man, you gotta do your own work in this. Okay, you gotta rejoice in your own work. That's why Scripture say you gotta work out your own salvation, because you're not going to get by on another man's work. Okay, if you're a man is not going to get by on another man's work. Now, if you're a female, that's a different story, because the female relies on the men. But if you're a man, you're not going to get by on another man's work. You can forget about that. Yahweh Shemiel Shah, he ain't having that. This is Titus 2 and 11. It says, for the grace of Yahweh Shemiel Shai that bringeth salvation have appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in the present world. Oh, man. So it just gave us instructions on how to live in this world. It says, so at the end, it says, in this present world, so in the world that we live in right now, let's start back up to see what we got to do. It says teaching us that denying ungodliness, so we got to deny ungodliness. Let's go on ungodliness. It says wickedness. When you go on ungodliness, wickedness. So we got to deny wickedness. Okay? So we deny wicked people. We deny wickedness. We deny it to the best of our ability. Now we know just man falls 7 times, right? But we're gonna try our best here. If I'm just gonna give a random example. If you got a guy in the world, he's your so-called friend. He's not in the truth or nothing. He's just in the world. And he told you to come over his house, y'all gonna play 2K or something. You like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be over at 2 o'clock or whatever. You get there, only his wife is there, and you open the door, she ain't got nothing but a robe on. She just got out the shower. Now, if you're in this truth, your mind should tell you, okay, this is not a good idea. I'm gonna come back later, or I'll wait out here till he gets here. That should just automatically go off on your head. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait out here. I'm not gonna go into the house, put myself in that situation. Okay? And this is what you should be doing in pretty much everything. You should weigh things out, right? You should weigh things out. Me too. Like some things I don't always do this. I can do better at this too. But denying ungodliness, not putting yourself in situations you shouldn't be in. It says, and worldly lust. So you're going to stay away from worldly lust. We already know what lust is. Fornication, the lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh. You're going to stay away from these things. This is the instructions on how to live in this world. It says we should live soberly, so we're not going to get attached to the doctrines of the world, Christmas, Easter, Happy New Year's, stupid shit like that. It says righteous, so this is how we should live, righteously and godly. Okay, we know what righteous is. Righteousness is the law, Psalms 142 and 139, I believe. And godly. And you go into the word godly, it means to be devout. Let's go into the word devout. I'm not 100% sure what that word means. It says having or showing deep religious feelings or commitment. So basically being loyal. Having or showing deep religious feelings or commitment. And that's what you're supposed to have to the throne, to the truth and its ministry. It says, looking for that blessed hope and the glorious appearing of the great power and our Savior, Yahushua Hamashiach. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be looking forward to Yahushua coming back, looking forward to being with Yahushua, looking forward to this place being set in righteousness, this place being better. Because we know right now this place is garbage. Let's go over here. This is Ecclesiasticus 35 and 3. It says to depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So it says to depart from wickedness is pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So when you don't take part in wickedness, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, like he's looking on that, he's having respect on that. Yo, I can fuck with this guy. Yahweh Shem Yahushua was bragging on Job. He was like, yo, isn't that a more perfect and upright man in the land? He hates evil, and he keeps my law, statutes, and commandments. Like, so Job is that ball. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he was bragging on him. And ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's having that same conversation with the elect. Telling Satan, like, go ahead, test him. You ain't going to find better men on the planet. This is Colossians 3 and 24. It says, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Yahushua. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which ye have done, and there is no respect of persons. So we do this good thing in hopes that we're going to receive that good reward. Okay? And like it just said, if you do wrong, you're going to receive wrong according to what you did. Because there was no respecter of persons. Like I said, look at Yahushua. He got killed for what he did to Solomon. Okay? He got killed for what he did to Solomon. And that was when he was living good. Now, when you look at us today as the men of the Lord, we don't know what we did in our past lives. We could have did worse than Solomon, for all we know. So, even though we're living this life right now to the best of our ability and righteousness, we can still be put to death just off the simple fact that Yahushua, even though he lived perfectly, he was put to death. So, even though we did live, we are living the best of our abilities right now, we still got to pay for the things we did in the past. So, this is still a good possibility. We can still get put to death in this life. That's why I always say, when you come into this truth, don't pray, or don't have in your mind like, all right, if I'm the elect, I'm not going to die. No, you got to have in your mind, even if you are the elect, you still can get put to death. Just have in your mind like, okay, I can probably die in this. My wife, my children, my family, we can all die. Just have in your mind, the best thing you can do is hope for the best, and pray for the best, and prepare for the worst. Spiritually prepare, because we're not going to physically prepare out here. This is Luke 12:33. It says, "Sell that ye have and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approaches, neither moth corrupt. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So it says this is what we're supposed to be doing, sowing up treasures in the heavens. Okay, working for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because this is the work that's not going to fail. This is the work that's not going to come back void. Okay, and like it just said, if your mind is there, your treasure is going to be there. If your treasure is there, your mind's there. Okay, but you got a lot of people in this world. What motivates them to do what they do is the treasures on this side. Okay, like boxers, they stay in the gym for what? They want to get their treasure on this earth, whether it's money, the fame, or a belt. Basketball players, they want the championship, the fame, or the money. Either way, whatever their profession is, their mind is constantly fixed on it because they want that reward. And as a man of the Lord, our mind should be constantly fixed on doing this work so that we can get our reward, which is the crowns and eternal life. Okay, and salvation from the destruction to come. But that was the last one I wanted to get. So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakal, Kadash, Adawan, Ratazah, Thumb, Tamayim, Akim, Yakal, Shalom.